Hello, everyone. Hope you are doing well. As you are aware, this year is already proving to be one of the most important months for U.S. immigration policy. Under the Trump administration, the landscape continues to shift quickly with headlines full of executive orders, legal battles, and emotional stories from real families caught in the middle. So, in today's video, we're covering the urgent U.S. immigration developments from a controversial self-deportation program to visa lottery results, USCIS processings, major enforcement changes, and hopeful updates buried beneath the chaos. If you are liking this video, please hit the bell button, subscribe, and like it so that you may get updates straight to your smartphone. Now let's get into the video. Number 1. Work permit price hike. Turning to Congress, House Republicans have introduced a proposal that could make it significantly more expensive for many immigrants to stay in the country legally. Under this plan, individuals applying for work permits, including asylum seekers, parole recipients, and those with temporary protected status, would be required to pay an initial fee of $550. And that's just the beginning. They would also have to pay another $550 every 6 months to renew those permits. Supporters of the plan argue it would help fund immigration enforcement and reduce the federal deficit. But critics call the proposal punitive and exclusionary, warning it could effectively shut the door on legal immigration for people already fleeing hardship or violence. Number 2. Green card lottery results. Now let's shift to some more hopeful developments. The U.S. State Department has released the results of the 2026 diversity visa lottery, more commonly known as the Green Card Lottery. From millions of applicants around the world, just 55,000 individuals were selected to apply for permanent residency in the United States. This program was designed to promote diversity and open legal immigration channels for those from countries with historically low rates of U.S. immigration. For those selected, this marks the beginning of a life-changing journey. Interviews and document processing will follow, but the opportunity is real and represents one of the few legal pathways still available for many around the world. Number 3. Visa bulletin moves. According to the latest visa bulletin for May 2025, there was modest movement in some green card categories. Spouses and minor children of green card holders under the F2A category saw a significant jump of more than 3 months across all countries. The category for siblings of U.S. citizens, known as F4, also saw a 2-month advancement for most countries, with the exception of India and Mexico. Unfortunately, other family categories and most employment-based categories remained unchanged. On the employment side, the green card categories for extraordinary workers and advanced degree holders, EB1 and EB2, stayed severely backlogged for India and China. The EB3 skilled worker category for India moved forward by only 2 weeks. Meanwhile, demand for EB5 investor visas has caused a backlog, and those priority dates actually moved backward by 5 to 6 months. Additionally, the EB4 category, which applies to special immigrants, has officially reached its annual cap and will remain closed until the next fiscal year begins in October. Number 4. Cash to leave. The first major headline this week is making waves across the country. The Trump administration has unveiled a voluntary self-deportation incentive program that offers undocumented immigrants $1,000 in cash and paid travel if they agree to leave the United States on their own. Through the CBP One app, individuals can notify officials of their departure plans, and after confirmation, the payment is issued. Homeland Security claims this strategy is a more cost-effective alternative to forced removals, aiming to ease pressure on courts and detention facilities. Supporters argue it could reduce backlogs in spending, but critics are alarmed. Many believe it preys on vulnerable individuals, pushing them to leave without legal counsel or understanding of their rights. Advocacy groups are closely monitoring the situation, and so far, at least one migrant has reportedly accepted the offer. Number 5. Parole on the line. Meanwhile, a legal showdown is heating up at the U.S. Supreme Court. The administration is pushing to end temporary protections for over 400,000 migrants from countries like Venezuela, Haiti, Cuba, and Nicaragua, all of whom were granted legal status under a Biden era. Humanitarian parole program. A federal judge blocked the administration's attempt to revoke these protections last month, citing concerns over legality and human rights. But the Trump administration insists the program undermines immigration enforcement and must be terminated. Immigration experts and advocates warn that ending parole without proper review would devastate families and violate laws requiring individualized consideration. The Supreme Court has given plaintiffs until May 15th to respond, and the ruling could reshape the fate of hundreds of thousands of lives. Number 6. Student visa crackdown. In education news, Immigration and Customs Enforcement has introduced a sweeping new rule targeting student visas. Under this policy, ICE now has the authority to cancel a student's visa based on broad and often vague claims of noncompliance without requiring proof or court review. This change follows the restoration of many international students' statuses after pandemic-era restrictions were lifted. But now, legal experts fear a return to unpredictability. Students could lose legal status and face deportation without a chance to defend themselves. Immigration attorneys and university leaders are deeply concerned. They say this could lead to a chilling effect, deterring talented international students from choosing U.S. universities and harming a sector that contributes billions annually to the economy. Number 7. Kids deported. Several alarming enforcement actions have also surfaced. The Trump administration's aggressive stance has resulted in heartbreaking consequences, particularly involving children. In one case out of Louisiana, 3 U.S. citizen children were deported along with their undocumented mothers after a routine check-in with immigration authorities. Among them was a 4-year-old boy battling stage 4 cancer. He was reportedly deported without medication or access to continued treatment. In another case, a 2-year-old Venezuelan girl was placed into foster care after both of her parents were deported. These families were denied the chance to consult legal counsel or even speak to other relatives before being removed. In court, a federal judge wrote that he had strong suspicion the government just deported a U.S. citizen with no meaningful process, but the order failed to return the child. These cases are reigniting urgent calls for stronger due process protections. Number 8. Enforcement ramps up. At the same time, USCIS has been ramping up its enforcement efforts. In May, federal officials apprehended 133 undocumented immigrants in New York alone. They also dismantled a nationwide marriage fraud operation and issued multiple convictions tied to smuggling, labor trafficking, and national security threats. Yet even as enforcement surges, serious delays continue to affect humanitarian visa applications. Individuals applying under programs like the Violence Against Women Act, U visas for crime victims, and T visas for trafficking survivors are waiting more than 100 days just to receive a case receipt. Number 9. Romania dropped. In an unexpected move, the Department of Homeland Security has revoked Romania's participation in the visa waiver program. The decision was made over concerns about security compliance and identity verification standards. Romanian citizens must now apply for a traditional visa before traveling to the United States, a reversal of their previous ESTA privileges. The change affects thousands of travelers and raises the possibility of similar actions against other countries if security standards aren't met. Number 10. Florida law blocked. And finally, a legal victory in the courts has temporarily halted Florida's latest crackdown on immigrants. Federal judges have blocked new state laws that sought to penalize undocumented individuals for accessing public services and punish those who transport or shelter them. The courts ruled that immigration enforcement is a matter for the federal government, not individual states, and that the new laws could cause irreparable harm if allowed to proceed. This decision offers temporary relief to immigrant communities across Florida, though further legal battles are expected. That's all we have for this bulletin. The U.S. Immigration News Channel provides all necessary visa information and procedures for your U.S. immigration journey. It is important to understand the United States immigration processing steps, visa application requirements, processing times, forms, fees, and more. We will continue to provide all information about U.S. visitor visas, such as B1 and B2, work visas such as L1A, L1B, and H1B, student visas, green cards, immigrant visas, EB1, EB2, EB3, EB4, and EB5, and family immigrant visas. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the U.S. Immigration News Channel. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.